Okay, guys. Yeah. So let's see the next lecture. We have entered into stress distribution. This is module number 5, right? So far we have been facing 2-3 days a little bit issues. So that's why I'm recording this lectures. So yeah, let's get started. So the stress distribution. So what is the stress distribution? So this thing is to analyze the effects of structures. So to analyze the effects of structures on soil, it's important to know the stresses developed in the soil because of construction loads. इसका मतलब क्या कि so if you have a structure here, some kind of structure, let's say this is your structure, right? So this, because of the structures, there will be some stresses developed, right? If you do remember, while we are mentioning the stresses at the first time, we separated the stresses into two stresses, geostatic stresses and the external stresses, right? Geostatic stresses and the external stresses. So geostatic stresses means these are the stresses developed by the soil own weight. External stresses are the stresses because of structural load. So external stresses are the stresses because of the structural load, right? So now we are capturing the external stresses. We know how to calculate the geostatic stresses, but we want to see the external stresses, how the stresses are developed at the soil because of some structures. क्योंकि यही stress है generally cause for failure. These are the stresses which cause the failure, right? So that's why we want to estimate the stresses, and that too the stresses because of this structure is different at different points. Geostatic stress hota to this is common, I mean, because it is extending infinite, soil is extending to the infinite in all the directions. Stresses at all the points are at same depth are same, but not in this case. Stresses because of the external loads will be different at different points. Uska distribution kya hai hum log dekh lenge. That is what the stress distribution, right? So for the stress distribution we have majorly two theories given by Bosnesk and Westergaard's. Both are kind of stands on the same ground, but they are different in their own ways, right? So we'll see how they are differ in their own ways. We'll start with Bosnesk theory. So we'll start with the Bosnesk theory. So he made some assumptions. See, the thing is, soil is so complex. Whenever whatever you want to do, so हमको कुछ assumptions लेके जाना पड़ता है. So in these conditions, for the simplified explanation, you made some assumptions. So Bosnesk also made some assumptions. Based on that, he arrived at the stresses at different points because of the load, right? वो assumptions क्या है? So he considered the soil is elastic. So elastic मतलब क्या है? Elastic मतलब stress is proportional to strain. So stress is proportional to strain. उसका मतलब ये कि this is the behavior of soil, you know, up to a certain stresses, very low stresses, this is a kind of linear only, right? Stress is proportional to strain. So under very less stresses, soil also behaves as an elastic, like your all other materials, concrete, steel and all. वो भी कम stresses में elastic जैसे behave करते हैं ना, stress is proportional to strain. So here also we are limiting the stresses to very lesser values. So its assumption is holds good for lesser stresses. Soil is considered elastic for lesser stresses. Yeah. Next assumption is soil is considered homogeneous and isotropic. ये तो हमेशा ही रहता है, इसका बिना हम कुछ भी नहीं कर पाएंगे soil के बारे में, right? So we always consider the soil as isotropic, homogeneous and isotropic. But Westergaard deviated from isotropic condition. वो तब Westergaard's theory बताएंगे, तब हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे. We'll discuss about the isotropic condition later. Semi infinite मतलब ये कि so if you have a ground here, you know, so the soil is extending infinite distance in this direction, infinite distance in this direction, and infinite distance in this direction. But it was confined in the upward direction. There is no limit, I mean, no continuity in one direction. In all the directions, it is continuous, right? It is infinite. So that's why we call semi-infinite. That's what meaning of semi-infinite, right? So the soil is weightless and assumed to be free of stresses before loading. क्या कि ये assume किया गया था. So this geostatic stresses मतलब क्या होता है कि हम structures construct करने से पहले soil का weight तो होगा ना. Let's say this is your structure. So before constructing this structure, there is some soil weight even at this point, उसका ऊपर कुछ soil है, that is what we have said as geostatic stresses. But here in this case, those geostatic stresses are assumed to be zero, right? So for the simplified analysis, so to estimate the stresses because of this external load only, we are assuming the geostatic stresses zero, and you finding out the stresses because of the structural load. And then after finding out the stresses because of structural load, we add geostatic stresses to that, then you will combinedly estimate the total stresses. ठीक है, तो वो हम लोग यूज करेंगे हमारा एनालिसिस के लिए. Fine. So this is what the Bosner's theory, and the basic of Bosner's theory is this. So if you consider a point load acting at some point O here, I want the stress at point P here, I want the stress at point P here, what do I do? So this P is at a radial distance R. So this P is at a radial distance R from the point O, and it is at a depth Z from the point O, right? So this R and Z are variable. So if you vary R and Z, you can estimate the stress at any point because of this load, right? So that equation he made out is this. So stress at this point P can be obtained by IB into Q by Z square. IB value is the value depends on R by Z. That is the location of P, right? So this IB value is given here, which is 3 by 2 into 1 plus R by Z square all to the power of 5 by 2. So we call this IB as influence factor. We also call this IB as influence factor. So we also call this IB as influence factor, right? So B stands for Bosner's because it's based on Bosner's theory. I for influence factor, B stands for Bosner's. Okay, right? Yeah. So now if you keep R value 0 here, Z value 0 here first. So this will be a kind of, I mean, IB value will be having some value which is very large. But if you keep 0 here in this equation, what happens to sigma Z? Sigma Z will become infinity, isn't it? Sigma Z will become infinity when Z is equals to 0. ये होता है क्या? नहीं ना, ये कभी भी नहीं होता, क्योंकि स्ट्रेस इंफिनिटी मतलब वो सॉइल तो पूरा एक्सप्लोड हो जाना चाहिए, नहीं होगा, क्योंकि see the point here is you cannot concentrate all the load at single point, you know. So तुम जो भी load दे दो soil को, so that will have some area that is not at the single point. Because of that reason, the stresses will not be infinitive at that point. So this is the explanation for it. It's not true, right? So just below the load, the stresses estimated by Bosner's theory are not give a better results, right? At some depth it is okay, but at just below the load it is a little bit very fine. और एक बात ये कि R by Z, if you keep R by Z equals to 0, that means radial distance is 0. So if I want stress at any point just below this load at different depths, my IB value is 0.4775. So my sigma Z will be कितना होगा? 0.4775 into Q by Z square. So मुझे कहाँ पर भी Z, मतलब कहीं पर भी Z का मतलब sigma Z चाहिए. So I can substitute the Z value at that, and I can arrive at the vertical stress at this point. Now you observe here, sigma Z is inversely proportional to Z square. उसका मतलब ये कि if you go to the deeper levels, the stresses will keep on reducing. So stresses will keep on reducing. और एक बात इधर मुझे बताना ये कि, so one more thing I have to tell you is, see IB value 0.4775 कैसे आया? So if you keep this value 0, this IB value is 3 by 25 only. So this 0.4775 is nothing but 3 by 25. ठीक है? So this is the how we estimate the stress at any point because of concentrated load Q, right? और एक ये stresses at any point हम लोग दे दिया equation, लेकिन अभी उसका variation देखना. So now I want the stresses at different distances. इसी depth पे at some depth Z. So at some depth Z I want stresses at different radial distances. ठीक है? तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, आई हैव टू change my r by z value keeping z constant. So keeping this z value constant, I have to change r by z value. So ib value changes. So as ib value changes, we can observe the variation here, right? So we'll keep r by z value 0. तो इधर kb लिख लिया मैंने, ib and kb are almost same, you know, some people represent with kb, some people represent with ib. Don't confuse with that, ठीक है? So r by z value 0 रखेगा तो we'll get kb value 0.4775 q by z square. ib value is 0.4775. But if you go to the little bit more radial distance, this value reduces to even 1 by कितना है, कितना reduce हो गया, 1 by 5 times, isn't it? And this is 1 by 50 times. So if you go a little bit beyond, right? So the thing is, the stresses are significant only up to some radial distance. Uska beyond that radial distance if you go, there is no influence, which makes sense, right? So you can think of this, you have the structure here in Bombay, nothing will happen to Delhi, isn't it? Because of the large distance. So this effect of this load will be confined only to the area which is closer to that load, right? Beyond some radial distance, इसका influence कुछ भी नहीं होता है. That is what the radial distribution of horizontal distribution of vertical stress, right? और vertical distribution भी देख लेंगे. I told you here. So the stress is inversely proportional to z square, right? So that means the stresses will be keep on reducing with the depth z, but it will have a maximum value at some depth. ये maximum value कहाँ होगा, that I'll explain here. So what was the equation that we have got? So for sigma z, so the equation is ib into q by z square, right? What was the ib value? This is 3 by 25 1 plus r by z whole square power 5 by 2 into q by z square. ये z square को simplify करके ऊपर चले जाएंगे तो you will get an equation this somehow this way, 3 by 3q by 25 into कितना बचेगा, so this will be r square plus z square power 5 by 2. ये इधर स्क्वायर जेड स्क्वायर हो जाएगा डिनोमिनेटर में, जेड स्क्वायर पावर 5 by 2, जेड पावर 5 हो जाएगा, वो ऊपर जाएगा. So z power 5 by z square, so you will have z cube on the numerator, right? So this is one more representation of vertical stress. मुझे ये vertical stress कहाँ डेप्थ पे मैक्सिमम होगा वो फाइंड आउट करना. So you can use the principle of maximum minimum. So you can derivate sigma z with respect to z. You will get you have to derivate this whole thing with respect to z. उसका बाद derivation करने के बाद we have to make it 0 for sigma z to be maximum. For sigma z to be maximum. ये मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, आपको चाहिए तो कमेंट में लिख लेना. I'll do and I'll send it as a PDF, right? So after you do this, you will get a condition as r by z value, right? This r by z value will be kind of equals to square root of 2 by 3, you know. So that means at this radial distance, I'll observe my sigma z maximum at a depth of square root of 2 by 3 times r. This depth is, at this depth I'm observing maximum. This is square root of 2 by 3 times r, right? So the same way, if you increase r value here, I want the stresses on this vertical plane, the stress will be maximum somewhere here, which is corresponding to that r. So in the vertical distribution, your stresses will be maximum along this line. So this is the maximum vertical stress line, you can say, right? This is very close. Square root of 2 by 3 is around 1.22 times approximately. So at that depth, the stresses is maximum. But beyond that, stresses will substantially reduce with the depth. You know, if you go to the deeper levels, stresses will be almost minimum. You know, stresses will be almost negligible. तो इसीलिए हम इसका नीचे कुछ भी सॉइल हो उसको हमको फर्क नहीं पड़ता, because that soil is not affected by this load. Only certain depth the soil is affected. Even in the radial distance also, soil up to some radial distance getting affected by this load, not beyond that. ये दोनों सम अप करके हम लोग बताएंगे तो सो वी कैन से दिस राइट. सो इसका डिस्टेंस बाहर कुछ स्ट्रेसेस बहुत कम होगा और इसका नीचे भी स्ट्रेसेस बहुत कम होगा. सो दिस इज द एरिया विच इन विच द स्ट्रेसेस आर kind of significant. Beyond this, stresses are having no effect in the soil which is beyond this. So इसको कहते हैं हम pressure bulb. So all these lines here we have shown. So these are called stress contours, or we also call them as isobars. Stress contours. We also call them as isobars. ठीक है? So we'll take a minimum value. This is corresponding to around 10% of the stress. 10% of the stress at this level. So the stress at this point is 10% of this level. So we call this as, we consider that the soil, stresses beyond this bulb, either, so negligible. So we say that stresses beyond this bulb, ये egg shape दिख रहा है ना, beyond this bulb are insignificant. So we only bother about the soil in this zone. So इसको कहते हैं हम pressure bulb. So this is what we say as pressure bulb, right? So this is the significant stress contour. This is around 10%. We mostly take 10% of the stress, right? ये हुआ हमारा बात. मतलब ये इंपॉर्टेंट ये कि हॉरिजॉन्टल डायरेक्शन में जाओगे तो तब भी कुछ इफेक्ट नहीं होगा, डीपर लेवल में जाओगे तब भी कुछ इफेक्ट नहीं होगा. Only in the proximity of your loading area the soil gets affected, right? Which you can also explain using this equation. वो equation से ही हम लोग ये ड्रॉ किया था, ठीक है? So having said that, so I have to say one more thing, right? So here this equation we have got, this is applicable for point load, right? But generally you have different kinds of loads, so your load distribution will be some kind of rectangular load, some kind of circular load. You see this in columns on chimneys and bridge piers. In buildings, if your building is kind of rectangular shape, so your load below the building will be distributed rectangular area, right? So how do we find out the stresses because of this uniformly distributed load? तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? We have to integrate this point load. You consider this rectangular load as single number of point loads. You take one point load and find out the stress at some point, and then you integrate this all the single point loads, right? And then you will get the stress at this point because of rectangular area. That's how we do, right? So we'll start with this. So I want the stress at this point P because of this continuous line load. Okay? So this point P is at a distance x in this direction and distance z in this direction. So मुझे क्या कि इधर एक पॉइंट छोटा सा स्ट्रिप ले लेता हूँ, so which is delta y thickness. Now I can consider this load in the small strip as point load because that distance width is very small, right? So if let's say this such charge is q dash is given, right? Q dash is the load. So this load, point load here will be how much? Q dash into delta y. So this is the capital Q. Now I can use this as a capital Q and I can substitute in the previous equation. So my sigma z will be how much? IB into Q by z square. So Q value is Q dash by delta y, and by z square. IB value is 3 by 2 pi 1 by 1 plus r by z whole square power pi by 2. इधर r भी वेरी होगा, है ना? So if you integrate this strip from this minus infinity to plus infinity, your r value is also changing. So at P, z value is not changing, z is constant, but the radial distance from this point is different and radial distance from this point is different, isn't it? So r value is changing. So you take r value as variable with the y and integrate this. After integrating this, you will get this equation turned out to this right? So this vertical stress at any point P because of this line load can be estimated by this equation. Okay? The same way you can also find out the stress because of the circular load. ये मेरा circular area on which I'm giving stresses, of intensity Q, Q per meter square. मतलब stress per 1 meter square area. ठीक है? So now I want the stress at this point because of the circular load. So what I do, I'll take small element here at a radial distance r. I'll consider the load of that element, which is कितना होगा? Q into that area dA. So Q into that area dA. dA is equals to dr and dl. Let's say dr into dl. So dr is this thickness and dl is this thickness. ठीक है? So ये Q consider करके we can find out the stress at this point because of this small area. Now you can integrate this area throughout the circular area, right? So you can surface integral that area throughout the circular area. Okay, I'll write here Q into dr by dl is the load by z square into IB, that is 3 by 2 phi 1 by 1 plus r by z square power 5 by 2. So this is your sigma z, we say d sigma z or delta sigma z because of the small load. मुझे सारे circular area की वजह से stress चाहिए at this point. So I have to integrate it. The same integral here. So if you could integrate this, you'll get this equation. IC value here and Q value here, right? So Q value here. Fine. So R limits are from, dr limits are from 0 to capital R. So R limits are from 0 to capital R, and dl limits. So minimum value of dl is 0 and maximum value of dl is perimeter, isn't it? Maximum value of dl is perimeter. So dl limits are from 0 to perimeter is 2 phi r, right? So 0 to 2 phi r limits of dl, and then R limits are 0 to capital R. If you integrate this will turns out to this, right? So this is the stress set below center of the circular load at some depth z, this is the stress below circular load. ठीक है? So ये इसको हम लोग और एक तरफ कभी याद रख सकते हैं. So you can keep this as sigma z is equals to 1 minus cos cube theta into q. So IC value is 1 minus cos cube. ये पूरा है ना ब्रैकेट में. This we can represent as cos cube theta, where theta is this half angle. So ये half angle theta होता तो cos theta क्या होगा? Z by this length, isn't it? So ये length होगा. Okay, I'll write here cos theta can be written as Z by square root of R square, capital R square plus Z square. ठीक है? This is a cos theta. So you can estimate this stress below center of the circular load at any point using this expression, right? So the same way we can also find out for the strip load. So generally load bearing walls के नीचे stresses can be calculated this way, strip load. ये भी same method है. You take one small strip and you consider that as a single load and you integrate that load from this level to this level, and you will get an equation this way. So this is the stress at this point P because of the strip load. So if you could calculate this angle theta and this angle beta, so by having this theta beta and depth z, so we can estimate the stress at this point P using these values, right? So this is the expression q by z sine 2 theta plus 2 cos beta plus theta. Now if I want stress at any point below, just below the center of the strip load, मेरा beta क्या होगा? Beta will become 0. So if you substitute beta 0, then this equation will be turns out to this, right? So q by z into sine theta plus theta, right? So this is the Bose-Nash theory. Fine. So now Westergaard's theory. So soil is homogeneous. He also made some assumptions similar to your vastness. Little bit of difference. He made a little bit of variation at one place. वो हम लोग बताएंगे क्या. So soil semi-infinite and elastic. Yeah, considered non-isotropic. मतलब he considered the layer. Stratification of soil is considered here in the Westergaard's theory, right? So which is reasonable, quite reasonable, because most of the cases we observe the soil layers differ at different depths, right? So for those cases we can use this Westergaard's theory, right? So इधर नॉन आइसोट्रोपिक कंसिडर कर रहे तो हम लोग ये but we need more conditions to analyze, right? एक इक्वेशन बढ़ रहा है तो एक अननोन बढ़ रहा है तो एक इक्वेशन भी बढ़ना चाहिए. उसके लिए we take a boundary condition, that is the soil is assumed laterally rigid. So the soil is not moving in this direction, not moving in this direction, it is only moving in the vertical direction. So that was the additional assumptions made by Terzag. Based on these assumptions, we come up with equation for vertical stresses sigma z as IW into Q by Z square, IW into Q by Z square, where IW value is 1 by 5 times 1 plus 2 by R by Z square all to the power of 3 by 2. This is the equation, right? So Westergaard's theory. Basically the thing is, so Westergaard's theory holds good. Westergaard's theory holds better results for stratified soils. Even for the other soils also, the stresses estimated by Westergaard's theory are found to be close enough to the actual stresses. You know, these stresses because of Westergaard's theory are close enough to the actual stresses. So stresses by Bosner's theory are overestimating. So Bosner's theory overestimates stresses. थोड़ा सा बड़ा ज्यादा होगा stresses because of Bosner's theory, but stresses ज्यादा हम लोग assume कर रहे थे, उसका मतलब क्या है? So we say that the soil is subjected to more worse condition. So you will prepare the structure for the more worse condition and you will be on conservative side. So will be on more safer side. So that is the reason why, although this not give Bosner's theory does not give accurate results, but we will still use Bosner's theory because you will get more conservative results. ठीक है? अब comparison कर लेंगे दोनों का. So this is the comparison. This is the Bosner's theory. So IB value with respect to R by Z and this is IW value with respect to R by Z. इधर ये ग्राफ से क्या हमको मिल रहे हैं? So at smaller radial distance, that is just below the load or close enough to the load, stresses estimated by Bosner's theory are much higher than Westergaard's theory, है ना? So stress estimated by Bosner's theory are much higher than Westergaard's theory. But beyond some depth, at high R by Z ratios, there is no variation. In fact, this IB and IW will be equals to, both will be equal when R by Z is equals to around 1.52. ये चेक करके देखना, मैं दोनों इक्वेशंस दे दिया, IW का और IB का. This is IB. So keep IB, IW, make it equal, then find out R by Z. That will be comes to around 1.52, right? So beyond that, the stresses will be almost same using Bosner's and Westergaard. Both or भी बहुत कम है. Stresses are also very कम. So we don't want to bother about the stresses beyond this depth क्योंकि वो बहुत कम है. So you don't have to bother about. But at lesser radial distances, Bosner's theory gives a little bit higher stresses than Westergaard's theory. ठीक है? So this is Bosner's theory and Westergaard's theory. Although this theory gives a kind of theoretical, based on some theoretical evaluation, but the point here is, if I want stress at this point, I have to use this equation. If I want stress at this point, I have to change this equation. Values change करके फिर stresses बताना पड़ेगा. मुझे different points पर stresses चाहिए, तो कितना बार मैं ये equation use करके calculate कर सकता हूँ? Possible नहीं है ना? So we use approximate methods to find out the stresses. Those are these three methods. So first approximate method is equivalent load method. Second approximate method is 2:1 ratio method, and third approximate method is Newmark charts. Fine. So ये देखते. So we'll see what are these all three approximate methods. We'll go with the first approximate method. So let's say I have a loading on this rectangular area. I have loading on this rectangular area. So let's say the load intensity is Q per meter square. ये मैं integrate करके भी कर सकता हूँ, but that is too lengthy, right? So what I do, I'll consider this area A1. I'll separate this whole area into number of small areas, A1, A2, A3, A4. I'll calculate this load, combined load in this area as Q1, which is equals to Q times A1. So this Q2 is actually equals to Q times A2. So similarly QA3, QA4. So I find out load of this area as single point load resultant, this load as single point load resultant, this is load as single point load resultant, this load as single point load resultant. Now I can consider this 4 loads. I can calculate the stress at this point because of this 4 loads, because I have the equation, right? I have the equation. So I can find out sigma z as sigma, I'll taking variable I varies from 1 to 4 because I have separated this into 4 areas. So this is Qi, different areas. So you have to consider Q1 and then Q2, Q3, Q4, add them up sigma, right? So what is the stress because of this Q1 load? Q by z square into IB. IB value is 3/25 into 1 by 1 plus Ri by z square power 5/2. Because R value changes with the area, you know. So R value is more for Q1, R value less for Q4, and it will be medium for Q3 and Q2, right? So you have to change Ry value and Qi value, and you have to find out the vertical stress because of all these 4 loads and sum it up. Then you will get the total stress because of this rectangular area at this point. This is simple, isn't it? Simple. But there is a catch here. If you want more accurate results, then what you do? So you increase this number of areas. So you will have very small areas. So calculation बढ़ जाएगा, but you will get accurate results. It depends. It's a compromise between your accuracy and your effort, right? So 19-20 होता तो हमको फर्क ही नहीं चलता तो हम लोग ज़्यादा नंबर्स करके सिंपल वे में उड़ा देते. So if you want more accurate results, then you make more number of this areas. Okay, that is what your equivalent load method. Next method is 2:1 method. So this is the most used method. इधर हम क्या calculate कर रहे हैं? Let's say this load on the foundation is Q. So I can estimate the stress at below this point. So this point, stress at this point will be कितना होगा? So if these dimensions are B and L, so stress at this point will be sigma z will be Q by B into L. But as long as you go to the deeper levels, we said that the stress is reduced, right? But the reduction in stresses is represented by this distribution, area distribution of the stress is increasing with the depth, right? So if I want stress at this point, let's say this point, which is at a depth z, right? So here the point is this distribution is 2:1, 2 vertical to 1 horizontal, right? If this depth is z, the area is increased to this much. So ये कितना होगा? If this is z, if this distance is z, this will be z by 2, क्योंकि 2 ये 2 है ना, 2 times of this width, horizontal width, right? So this will be z by 2 and here also you will have z by 2 here. So width कितना होगा? So this was b earlier, now it was increased from b to b plus z by 2 this side plus z by 2 this side. So this width will be b plus z, isn't it? See, length is also increasing, which we can't see in the paper, but this length is also increasing to L plus Z. So the stress at this point will be कितना होगा? Q by B plus Z into L plus Z. So Z बढ़ता जाएगा तो sigma Z कम होता जाएगा. So your sigma Z will keep on reducing with the depth Z. So which is very true. This is what we have been telling, right? So if you go to the deeper levels, this SS will be almost negligible. Right, so this is the 2:1 ratio method, which is an approximate method. Fine. और एक method है, so that is Newmark's charts. So this is most better way than the previous two. Little bit थोड़ा सा effort देना पड़ता है. So you have to prepare charts. Newmark's prepared a chart, so you can use that chart for finding out the stresses under any shape. Any shape, here the key point is any shape. So generally if you want stress below some rectangular load or circular load, you just integrate it. हम लोग equation भी दे चुका है. But what if your load is some kind of irregular shape? I want stress at this point below at some depth z. At some depth z. क्या करूँ मैं? Integrate तो नहीं कर पाऊँगा because it is not regular. So what we do? So we use Newmark's influence charts. ये Newmark's influence charts क्या होता है? That will explain in the next class. So we'll see this thing in the next class. Fine. Yeah. So we'll end up here and we'll meet tomorrow.